Oh, hey there. I don't bump into too many people walking around old classrooms like this, but being here really makes me think about what is the purpose of school and why do we make kids go every day? What should the curriculum be and what should the role of teachers and students be in the classroom? I think these are important questions, but sometimes we don't think about them because we just assume schools should be the way they were for us. So today, I'm going to conjure up some old educational philosophers from the dead to help you rethink the purpose of schools. Oh, hey there again. Um, so debates about what education should be have often been framed in terms of traditional and progressive education. Advocates for traditional educational models generally hold that there is a specific curriculum, whether that be reading, writing, and arithmetic, the basics of math, science, English, and history, or the great works of history, that students must learn to function in society. Therefore, it is the work of the teacher to deposit such knowledge into the heads of students. In such a setting, students should be obedient and classrooms orderly. It is ironic that this approach to education is considered traditional because, as Frank Smith argues, traditional methods are a rather recent invention in human history. On the other hand, advocates for progressive educational models tend to argue that students' interests and voices should be included or even guide the curriculum of study. Units of study might start with students' questions, which can then become the motivation for projects within and outside of the classroom or school. Such an approach often integrates different types and subjects of learning as students, for example, conduct an environmental study of their school which emphasizes math and science skills and then utilize English and civic skills to lobby the city or district for more recycle bins, a school garden, or better sidewalks. Students learn not only content through these participatory experiences, but also how to learn to problem solve and engage in democracy. In practice, though, reality is much more complex than these two models, and educational experiences can fit somewhere on a spectrum as being more traditional or more progressive. In the rest of this video, we're going to introduce you to 5 educational philosophies. 2 philosophies, Essentialism and Perennialism, tend to be considered traditional because curriculum is predetermined and primarily teacher-centered. 3 philosophies, Progressivism, Social Reconstructionism, and Existentialism, are considered progressive because students are involved in determining curriculum and actively engaged in experiences. So now, without further ado, let's bring back some of those educational philosophers from the grave to explain what their philosophies look like. Hello, my name is Arthur Bester, an academic historian, and I will be your teacher for this school year. We will learn the essential curriculum that you will need to prepare you to be a contributing member of society. In this class, we will get back to the basics through the educational philosophy of Essentialism, made popular by esteemed individuals like myself, William Bagley, and Admiral Hyman G. Rickover. I possess all of the knowledge you will need for this course, and so you will learn by sitting in a proper classroom receiving your instruction through my lecture and the selected textbook. Lectures, recitations, and discussion will also be used to further your education. The curriculum is predetermined and will be based on the essential disciplines like math, literature, natural science, foreign language, and history. Expectations are that you will use intellectual discipline to learn about the ideas, people, institutions, and events that have shaped American society. At the end of each section, you will be tested using standardized tests as we are all learning the same material. You'll be expected to master your grade level in areas of information and skill before being allowed to progress to the next grade level. As the moral and intellectual role model for our class, it is my responsibility to make sure that you leave school with the basic knowledge and skills you need. The goal is for all students to be disciplined, practical, and capable of applying information from lessons to the world. Each student will learn a respect for authority, fidelity to duty, perseverance, practicality, and consideration for others. These attributes will make you better learners as well as better citizens.
Good morning, class. My name is Mortimer Adler. I am a well-known perennialist, and I will be your teacher this year. Before we get started, you need to understand that I expect you to behave. I possess a great wealth of knowledge, and information, and if you're observant and studious, I will impart my wisdom to you. I will conduct my classroom with precision, and we will adhere to a rigid schedule. But as you can see behind me, you can see that I also expect participation in discussions about the great books of the Western world. Throughout the school year, you will master our subject matter, which will reveal eternal truths that have stood the test of time. Eternal truths may stem from our faith, or they are facts that have stood the test of time. I will train your intellect, and utilizing the scientific method, we will verify universal truths. For those of you in Catholic or private religious schools, you will gain truth from religious texts to better know God's truths. You will not have to search the reaches of history for long ago proofs of knowledge. You can rely entirely on your faith to know what is true and cannot be wrong. I will instruct you through didactic lectures, assigned readings, and Socratic teaching, as these are the best ways to learn. We will work through as many of the great books as we can this year. The great books may not have been written this century, but they will hold relevance in today's world. Every time you read one of these great books, you will be rewarded by the experience. The great books are the best literature to learn from because they have withstood the test of time. I hope you enjoy our class.
Welcome everyone to Dr. Dewey's classroom. My philosophy for education encourages a democratic environment. What does it mean to create a democratic environment? That means authority is out the door. I will help you construct knowledge about topics that concern students and society. Students are often encouraged to help determine curriculum and learn by doing. Learning by doing, or I like to say, learning by doing. What does that mean for students? Students must have the opportunity to learn in a community by engaging in authentic and meaningful learning projects. Let's take a moment to appreciate the collaboration in this classroom. An ideal learning environment would be a setting where interaction and collaboration are encouraged. What are the steps to academic success? We must set a foundation for our classroom. As a class, we must set boundaries that are agreeable to everyone, not just a teacher. This includes all students in the classroom. I will only be the facilitator, while you, the student, will learn from your participation in class projects and group work. I will ask questions about your world and organize our curriculum around your questions. Come on, guys, we're going to take a break from traditional structure of education. Speak up and help shape your world.
It's great to see students protesting for social justice. Welcome, students. My name is George S. Counts. I wanted school to be reformed in the early 20th century. This year in my class, we will be taking things into our own hands and creating the classroom we want this to be. First, we should question the institution of education. Is there a hidden curriculum designed by an oppressive power group in our country? The way you answer this in questions like this will determine the curriculum of our class. Your solutions to social inequalities will become the cornerstone of the education in my classroom. Do not settle for the status quo in our school. I want to take your concerns and issues you have with our school to create a better school. Do not keep the status quo. We will be making equality in all roles in our classroom. We will model the way to become change agents in society so you can leave this classroom and go out into the world to create a stronger democratic society. We will be looking at things such as textbooks, websites, television, and other aspects seen in society every day. We will look at these and critique every aspect of them and figure out what methods may be in place to keep minority groups from succeeding. We will take this and figure out what we want to change about it. What makes these things unequal? We will help one another out to become the change agents we want to become. More than anything, I want you to help me reconstruct a better society. We will be having assessments, but we won't have tests. We will instead be a democracy and give feedback to each other. I want this school year to be meaningful, and I want you to challenge each other and build our classroom community in a way that fosters a lifelong desire to make the world we live in a better place.
It's great to see an individual pursue their love of learning. Hi, my name is A.S. Neal. I founded the Summerhill School of England that would become the first alternative or free school. Summerhill is an example of my philosophy and has been in existence since 1921. My education system has been used and replicated in many schools throughout the world, from Argentina to the United States. There's even one in Austin, Texas called Whole Life Learning Center. For a more in-depth look at my beliefs, look for my book entitled Summerhill. As an existentialist, I believe in building and supporting the individual to pursue that which inspires them. My education system is really up to the student. I question whether a teacher should have the authority to determine the curriculum and simply require the student's obedience. The student is the one who learns, who does the intellectual work. Why should the students put their time and energy into a system they don't believe in? No, in my teaching philosophy, we respect the student by letting them choose. Don't want to go to class? Don't go. Don't want to do the reading? Don't read. This is all because I know the truth. All students are naturally curious. They will learn naturally as they explore the world as it appeals to them as individuals. They will attend class and seek out the teachers to learn, grow, and build themselves. As students learn in this way, they create a tailored education that suits their personal needs better than any institutionally created curriculum can. If the student's interest will guide the learning, not the teacher. By the students taking control of their learning, they will grow in themselves. The students will learn about their interests, their strengths, and weaknesses. This is Existentialism educational philosophy.